is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the North End Podcast, episode 289. My name is Zach Graham, your host here in the North End, joined, as always, by my good buddy. He's on record as my best friend. His name is Ian Michaud, and we call him... E, sitting here on a Sunday, angry, vengeful, Austin, Texas. I'm ready for our first bitch session of 2026. How are you feeling, my friend?
Ready to rage. That was a disaster. Absolutely awful. So got to get it off the chest. We're just chatting here, like not a whole lot to take away about how the team, tried to approach it after the Beirut card and everything.
Offensively, at least,
So yeah, it's just going to be a lot of complaining. So strap in.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just, and you're going to, we'll talk about it. Holy shit. We got a couple pieces of news to touch on outside of recapping last night's match, and we'll close it out with a little second team news before we get into the rest of episode 289 here today. Just want to remind you all listening or watching on the YouTube channel that you can support the show financially for free just by downloading the audio versions of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Toggle on auto downloads, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get those pods. That'll support the show in that fashion going forward, and you won't have to think about it again. You can go the extra mile, rate and review the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. It does help us grow the show. You can also hit the notification bell to know when a live stream pops up or a new episode goes live. And of course, here on episode 289, hit the thumbs up, like the video, help us battle the YouTube algorithm overlords and PRO. Atone for your sins. Wash yourselves clean in the waters of the North End. And of course, anybody listening who hasn't done so already can join our Patreon. Patreon popping off last night. As you would expect, dude, Mackie had me rolling in there. I think Scott asked us a question about, how do you, what's the process of, complaining about officials' decisions, I think through the team, what official channels and stuff, and Mackie just responds with a gif of some lady sitting in a soccer stand somewhere with a voodoo doll of the official just poking her with a pin. Oh man, QR code to join the Patreon is on the screen right now or in the description here on the YouTube episode or the audio version. So, coming into this one, right, we had the very quick turnaround from our Thursday preview episode to kick off on Saturday night. The one piece of news I did want to touch on before we get into this match recap is that the league did publish the updated GAM totals following that roster compliance date, right, which was the day before the season started. So that was February 20th, and if you look at this list, Austin no longer holding on to the least amount of GAM in the league. As of February 20th, I believe, 7th least, $412,817. However, because this total comes from February 20th, and we went through the whole Christian Ramirez waiver claim, we know that we are using $112,500 of GAM to buy that budget charge from $225K down to 113. So this number's a little bit lower, though I believe that still makes us the 7th lowest team. So kind of like we talked about when that initial GAM total drop happened, I think near the end of January, where Austin was the lowest with 2.4 million and change or something. We said that's not the final number. That will be applied elsewhere. And you think about what happened between that first drop and this one. It's those two international slot trades doing all the work here. Otherwise, we would be much closer to the Galaxy, who have 0 GAM remaining.
It's still an issue. I know it's being worked on for sure. Glad to see that we're not last.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's just the aesthetic of it, right? Yeah. We know we don't have a lot of GAM, but we are not, in the LA Galaxy's position. Or, I think I'd take the 17,000 and change to be Inter Miami, just sitting on 17K GAM. But so we got that piece of news. That was just about all that happened. That wasn't Austin FC specific. We got the injury report on Friday. Mikael Dessler was listed as questionable. And then, of course, as we learned from Nico's Thursday presser, no Robert Taylor, and, of course, no Owen, no BV. Then you get the lineup, dude. And not only is Mikael Dessler, we didn't expect him to start here.
Yeah.
But he is not in the team. So that, again, is just another week where we're waiting for who we think are maybe our most talented defender. Although now that we saw Rosales play some left back last night, like you saw a couple moments there where you're like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
But no Dessler, man, was a bummer. Outside of that, no real surprises through the rest of the team, right? Same 11 from last week.
Yeah, man. Until I see some proof of life, I'm going with Mikael Dessler because this dude is just like, I think it's been, kind of teased at least the last 2 weeks that like maybe he's floating around, maybe you're going to see him on the bench. And like, I just like staunchly was just like not believing that. Yeah. Because I need to see it, man. I don't know what's going on with this dude. I don't know how he's not ready to go by now. Yeah. And now, we were getting excited about moving forward with this injury timeline. We thought Owen would be in the mix here. Obviously, you think Bobby T, would have been playing at this point. Thought Dessler would be ready to go. And now you got Pep with a hammy. You got Nelson with a hammy. You're going to have some suspensions, man. So, like, this is not great.
Mikael Dessler. So until we see him on the bench, he's Dessler?
Yeah. Okay. Could be a body double, bro. Where is this dude, man?
Well, dude, jokes aside, obviously, like, we've seen him in training, like, kind of making that progression towards the contact drills that he's reportedly been doing the last week plus. But I go back to what we said coming into the season opener, where, like, we know, right? Like, he was sitting out at the beginning of preseason. Those first 2 matches against USL sides, we were like, okay, like, they're sitting out the guy who's oft injured, right? That was a big bowl of nothing. And then as we progress through the preseason, he's not practicing, not playing. What I said coming in that season opener was, if there was an indication that he was going to miss regular season time with the injury that he apparently had in mid-January, I certainly missed that. Yeah. And, like, to not be playing now, dude, it's going to be mid-March when we kick off against RSL next week. Like, these guys the team does not have to share accurate updates with us about the injured players and their timelines, but it'd be a lot cooler if they fucking did.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, like, we're not there yet, but, like, this is just giving me Vicenen vibes. Like, it's just giving me some Leo
You're
vibes,
invoking bro. Leo here?
I mean, it just is. Like, we were always wondering where that dude was.
And
how there was another soft tissue injury going on with him, except Dessler's older. Yeah. But, like, we need him back.
Dessler, like, plays well when he's out there.
Agreed. That's why I didn't want to say a completely one-to-one kind of comparison here. But, like, I was just about to say, like, we need the guy. He's very talented. He's very good. And I think Johnny's been great, man. I think he really has been great. But we miss him.
Yeah, I second that. I guess the other piece of news, not really news, but apparently Pollo was banned from the stadium last night as a noisemaker. I saw somebody, I don't remember where, because obviously this was being blasted all around the fan base, as it should. You don't look. I was really hoping that this was going to be another, like, scientific data point where, like, banning Pollo was going to be like a disrespecting the terrible towel situation where, like, not only do you lose that game, but, like, then multiple years of bad luck. You look at what happened to DC. Yeah. Like, DC was not wooden spoon when they fucked with Pollo, and where they've been the last 3 years. So, unfortunately, not how it played out last night, but I saw somebody say, I'm taking my 4-year-old to the game tonight. Are they banned as well?
Oh,
that's God. A noisemaker. Like, I mean, it's just, come on, man. It's a fucking rubber chicken. That's our mascot.
It's ridiculous, dude. Come on. It's at least fun. Like, keep it fun. Like, come on. Whatever. We're getting to it. It's God. I can
we're not even into the game yet, dude.
I know. I saw someone in the Discord say we need to track my blood pressure.
Yeah, that was Mackie again too.
Was it?
It was Mackie, the medical professional.
And so I can just feel it. Right.
Worried about us.
I can just feel the boil right now. I can just feel it.
Well, hopefully we don't get to. I think option E on the multiple choice question was E's just dead. So hopefully we don't get to option E here today. Let's talk about this one, E. I guess, and on the other side, right? You had Liel Abada, right? DP back in there for U22 winger. Kerwin Vargas. We also had 2 changes in their midfield. Ashley Westwood, their captain, back in there. Brant Bronico. And then on the back line, so I think 4 changes to this lineup. You had Morrison Ajimong in there for Andrew Privet. And like, again, Charlotte comes out with the victory here, but the Charlotte fans have to be feeling still pretty bad, I think, about their back line, given what Ajimong did last night.
Yeah. What's the name of the center back that they had lost? It's escaping me right now.
Andrew Privet. Addison Malanda.
And
the Middlesbrough.
It's been a huge issue for them thus far to replace that level of talent. Like, he was a very, very good player, stout defender, and they haven't found that answer. We talked about how this team had been tweaking their starting lineup a little bit. You see 4 major changes here, trying to find something. We knew that they were going to come out. We knew that place was going to be rocking last night. So, let's get into it.
We'll pick it up in the 7th minute here, and I think, like, in the opening moments, Austin kind of controlling the pace, controlling the possession early on, and trying to play, again, noticeably more direct, some line-breaking passes, and more diagonals over the top. And in this moment, 7th minute, Austin plays a quick counter after Toklomati went down in our box, and BHI was challenging. There's absolutely nothing in that. I see your face. Toklomati, flopper. All night, dude. Hindsight turns around, puts it to Biru, who passes it ahead to Facu Torres, and Facu lofts one from left to right ahead towards Azuni, who's in behind Tim Ream. Mirtu tries to one-time this one out of the air. Looks like he's trying to put it up and over Kalina, who's a little bit off his line, but Mirtu puts it into the stands. But dude, I didn't hate that, and even from Mirtu, right? Where, like, again, like I was talking about all offseason, like, when Mirtu fucks up this season, it's going to be even more like we're just all going to be to easily go to, here we go again. And like, dude, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm not projecting that on the rest of the fan base. Like, I just think people will be with me on those feelings. And like in this moment, I did not feel that way towards Mirtu. I saw what he was trying to do, and that is a tough play.
It would have been a very, very tough play to convert that. But I love the start here. You're playing these line-breaking passes. You're getting these balls moved up the field rather quickly. One thing I talked about in the preview episode that I was really trying to pay attention to was how aggressive Austin was going to be, how it was going to look on the road in the first road match of the season with a team that we knew was going to be desperate, really needed 3 points here at home. And you came out and you wanted to play a free and open game against this team and settle it. And then, unfortunately, we're just never going to be able to know what the result could have been from this game due to what happens later here. But I love the start, man. And again, this play with Azuni, could he have potentially kind of like watching Zaha catch balls out of the air makes me believe that a DP should be able to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's a level of talent with Zaha that's pretty impressive. But this one time is good. I get what he's doing as well. Just would have been a really, really, really difficult goal score there.
Yeah, I mean, that would have, if he puts that away, like that's one of the best goals in our club's history.
Yeah.
Like even to put that on frame would be, pretty impressive to me.
Yeah.
But in the next minute, dude, 8th minute, tough challenge here by Joseph Rosales on Wilfried Zaha, and head official Rosendo Mendoza, first of, I don't know, over under 27 and a half times we say his fucking name on the recap. He has a chat with Joseph here, but no card.
Yeah.
And like,
we both said good. We said we liked it.
I was like, okay, like you're setting a standard here. He did pull him over to have a chat, right? It's like, all right, now you've already, here we're in the first 10 minutes. Next hard foul, I would expect a yellow coming out of that. And I, again, like you said, we both said, okay, like you're setting the standard here. He's going to let him play a little bit, but you're like, we're having the talk now. I don't know, man. Like looking back on it now, I'm like, maybe I wish he gave him a yellow and called this game a little bit and like calm everybody down. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the starting point. This is when it starts to get a bit chippy. This is when there's a lot more talking going on. Zaha gets up. He's running his mouth. You start seeing guys coming together a little bit. Guys like, they're walking towards the ref. They're trying to push dudes off. Like, this is exactly where it starts. So I'm with you there, knowing, obviously hindsight 2020. But in the moment, I did say, that's good officiating. You know what I mean? And was I grateful that, Rosales didn't get a card? Yes, of course. I think that played into me saying that's great officiating. But to do that, have that conversation, let him walk away without a card here. But this is where it all begins.
Yeah, and it continues really the first 20 minutes here. In the 12th minute, it's Toklomati and BHI again going at it in the 18, just this time down on the inline. And the Charlotte striker really pushes Heinzike down, and Brendan lands like square on the ball, like lungs, right?
Yeah.
And as he gets up, Toklomati runs into him, and he falls down, and he's calling for a foul there. And Heinzike like taps the ball to Biru and immediately doubles over. So you could like, it seemed clear to us that he got the wind knocked out of him landing on that ball. And then the next 8-9 seconds, I'm screaming for our guys to play it out. Yeah. And Guilherme ends up getting it out for an Austin throw. But like, fuck, man, we're gonna get a new BHI injury every game. Like he's fine. Like he's going down the checklist. The BHI injury bingo card, like. It's filling up already this season.
The most random injuries.
Yes.
When we're playing this in the back, and like I like it, and we talked about it a little bit with Guilherme, he gets a little, he's not the type of guy who's like, I'm just clearing this thing. He's gonna try to find something, try to find an avenue. But when the dude's down, man, and you're playing like that's your direct back pass. Yeah, get that ball out of bounds. Let's calm down, reset.
16th minute. It was a giveaway here by Charlotte in their own final third. It was a wayward pass that found the foot of Jaden Nelson. Nelson passes it right to Facu Torres, kind of above the top of the 18 here. And Facu's got it on that strong left foot, so he takes a shot but sends it over the target. And that was for the 3 or maybe 4 chances that Austin has before the red card. That was the theme, dude. We are just blasting this into the stands.
Yeah, no, these we knew that there was going to need to be a goal to beat Kalina. That was a quality kind of shot, and you got some opportunities here, and none of them were of the high quality variety. But again, you're still progressing the ball up the field. You're playing with this team. It looks good. And when he caught the ball here, Facu, I stood up. I'm ready. Like it's on his left foot. Put this thing on frame, dude. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, and I think like it was to me at least, like the confidence, and not just the confidence offensively, because like when we, as Austin fans at this point of our fandom, when we see the diagonals and the line breaking passes and like being more direct offensively, that's going to get you excited. But the confidence in the counter press and the defensive structure overall was also there and felt very solid to me. Like the majority of what Charlotte gets before the ejection is Toklomati trying to flop his ass around in the box.
Yeah, and I thought our press on them was pretty nice to start this game. You were putting some heat on those dudes on the back line. We know they've been struggling back there. You got Morrison Aljimang in that game. Wanted to see what it looked like. Obviously, he breaks down a little later, but it still looked good, man. And like I didn't think Charlotte was playing poorly. I think they have a couple kind of chances here that they built up. But like we expected that. We talked about some of the offensive players on this team that they had and that they were going to be super hungry and desperate in this game. But still, you're right there, man. You're right in this game, and it's just like you got robbed.
18th minute, it's a yellow card to Zaha, and this was a common foul from Zaha committed on John Gallagher near that sideline there. But like when the foul is called, he goes at the official, and as soon as he waves his hand so at the official, that's when the card comes out immediately. Dude, and then he goes after Mendoza for a good 10 seconds, and like the way red cards were being handed out, not just last night in Charlotte, but across the league over the last 2 weeks, like I just don't understand how, you get a yellow card for dissent, and then you're allowed 10 more seconds of that? Like, I don't get it. And the next play, dude, literally a minute later in the 19th, I'm shocked that Rosales doesn't get a yellow card here going through Brant Bronico on a ball coming down, and considering the talking to he got 10 minutes prior. But on this stoppage, dude, then they cut. Zaha's over on the sideline, bug-eyed at the fourth official. Like, this was like a Draymond Green level performance in these 2 minutes, and I don't know why Rosenda Mendoza is playing Tony Brothers here, man. Yeah. Throw him out if he's going to keep bitching. You got the card for dissent. Yep. There's no fewer than 20 seconds of Zaha in the next 2 minutes of him screaming in the official's face. I don't get that at all. Again, I don't think he should have been tossed for that, but I want to feel some kind of way when we get jobbed the way we did.
Yeah, absolutely. I was right there because I like watching him play. Obviously, he's super talented, but like, and I also don't think he should have gotten thrown, but like, he was consistent, and he was talking to our bench.
Yes.
He's going at coaches on our bench, man. I don't know how many times I saw this everyone saw this sideline official within the first 20 minutes of this game. And it was just like, why is this dude such a vocal point right now? We got coaches going at him. It's just like the way that this game got out of hand so fast was just, it was something to see, man.
23rd minute here. It's Austin winning a throw in on the near sideline. It could set up for a long throw. Charlotte's able to clear that service out, and they get a little bit of a quick chance on a breakaway here. Biru is the last man back with Toklomati, and as that ball's kind of trickled out to the right, Toklomati is forced to turn his back to Austin's goal, and then Biru's grabbing his arm for a foul to stop the break, which is standard.
Yep.
Then Toklomati very clearly loses his balance and goes to ground, and Biru is playing the ball here.
Yep.
But as Toklomati falls, yellow card comes out because Biru makes contact with his heel. Biru doesn't like it. No issue for me in the moment with the yellow card.
Nope, same.
But then VAR whistles down, and you can see, because what Mendoza is seeing on the screen, we are also seeing on our screen. It matches up because you can see it with the camera angle. You can see that they do not show Rosendo Mendoza the lead up to the foul. It is a fucking still image of Biru making contact with the ankle. And then they play it after that. And by the time they wind it back before the still image, Mendoza is walking back towards the pitch to make the call. That is horrendous officiating from the VAR room down to Mendoza. And look, man, I said it on the first replay we saw. There is no intent there by Guilherme Biru, because we know he will do some shit like that.
For sure.
And that was not one of these instances.
Nope.
And you've got Devin Kerr, the color commentator last night, saying the exact same thing, that where we're watching. And I know David Goss had eyes on it. You see him posting after the game. He did not agree. This red card needs to be rescinded by the league, and Biru should be active next week. That is the only thing they can do. You've already stolen the chance at points from us. He should be playing next week.
He absolutely should. He'd have to be a fucking wizard to be able to time this, to step on the back of his leg intentionally to hit his heel Achilles spot. And in the moment, I was fine with the yellow as well. I know 100%. Guilherme personally wasn't.
Right.
But it's the same kind of concept where it's like, we're distinguishing between the yellow because of the way that it looks, the body part that you strike, and then going to the red and escalating where there's intent, aggressive nature. You're potentially purposely trying to hurt the other player. And it never crossed that line. Was it super unfortunate that he happened to step exactly in the spot on this dude's heel and Achilles? Yeah, it was. So I think you can get a yellow for that. And this review was so fast. I could not fucking believe how fast this was.
Yeah.
And like you said, to your point, it was like he walks over, there's the still shot. It looks terrible in that moment. If you fucking just, it was like they had it up as a screensaver almost. He's fucking stomping on this dude. And like, of course, the optics of that look shit, but to go that fast on the review,
you have to see the full play.
You have
played
to
live, and then slow-mo, like during a review. That is holy shit. I mean, it's the worst, maybe the worst review I've ever seen.
It's awful. Yeah,
there's no way that's up to the standard of what they're supposed to be doing with that technology. Zero shot.
No, absolutely not. And I think I don't think we're gonna get the red card rescinded. But I'm right there with you because, the damage has already been done. And, one thing I do want to talk about is, like, I think that a lot of the coaching staff, players, other people with the organization, whoever was there, fucking trainers, we then escalated a little higher. I've never seen Nico so juiced up.
Yeah.
Because
and rightfully so.
Exactly, because this was absolute bullshit, man. It was a horrible fucking call, and it changed the entire game. Now you're down a man, and, like, good luck. Everything goes out the window.
Yeah, over and out. Is this the earliest red card we've ever got? It might be.
I think it is. I think it is.
We'd have to go back through the previous seasons, but the one that stands out to me was Bukari in Leagues Cup, like when he first got here. But I think that was past the 23rd minute.
I think that was for some reason I'm thinking in like the 30th, 33rd minute. But I want to jump to B-Rook here a little bit, right? Because, I've seen chatter, some people talking about, Guilherme in these types of situations being a bit, of a liability because he is aggressive and reckless. And as we did mention, we will concede. He will do some shit. This was not some shit. He will do some shit, though. So, everyone in the league saw the Ricky tackle. And that's one of the prize possessions.
Also, he didn't fucking touch him.
Didn't hit the guy. So, is he developing a bit of a reputation amongst the league? Maybe, and it's just so unfortunate, right, that he suspended the first game because of the red card in the preseason. And now this happens. And the optics of that is fuck, we benched you because we want you to learn a lesson from what you did in that last preseason game. But he didn't deserve this one, in my opinion. This is a yellow. So, with Guilherme, are there times where he loses his cool and he's like, I'm going to go hit somebody now? Yeah, absolutely. He will. But he didn't deserve this one. Did not.
You got a bird's nest on your window, man? Chirping coming through.
Yeah, I can
caw.
I see that thing right there.
Papa, look, he's weighing in on the call as well. I mean, I'm with you on Guilherme, man. He puts himself into some precarious situations at times, but that was not deserved. That's not a deserved red. And I feel even stronger about that is the correct take on the outcome of this because of specifically one person I saw say that he deserved it. And, our friends can decide, they can probably figure out who I'm talking about. Moving on through the first half though, dude, obviously we've got to make a little bit of a change here or a shift, but big question marks when this happened. 28th minute, it's John Bell coming in for Jaden Nelson. And I think we had a similar thought immediately as a lot of fans where it was like, dude, to take off our fastest guy when our hope of getting a goal against them is now probably on the counter. That did not make much sense. But Nico in the postgame said that they were going to take Jaden off early anyways because he had some hamstring tightness. So I couldn't really interpret for myself whether or not he was indicating that Jaden would come off early 60th, 70th minute again, or he was feeling bad out there and coming off in the first half. Either way, man, that's not great. If the plan wasn't Jaden 90 minutes. Yep.
That is not great, man. And that context is good to have because in the moment we're just really?
Yeah.
Really? We have other options here that we can do.
Did it happen while he through the first 25 minutes, or did he come in with hamstring tightness?
Yeah, man. Now that's another thing to watch. This injury report is just getting bigger and bigger.
It did not take long. 29th minute, Charlotte working it right to left in the Austin final third, and dangerous balls put in but headed away by John Bell. Only as far as Pep Biel, who slides it to Wilfried Zaha, and Zaha puts a pretty great ball.
This is a great ball.
Yeah, and tapped home on the backside by Toklamati. And I do think Svatok can do better to deflect the initial ball in by Zaha. I'm not going to put any significant blame on him. Can John Bell do better on the backside to potentially clear this out? Similar to Svatek, I think maybe.
Yeah.
But I also think where he is, the way the ball's coming in, a John Bell touch on this might put it into his own net. I lean more towards crediting the offense here and Zaha for the pass. Yeah. I don't think the defense is blameless, but I didn't come away from that play live or on the rewatch early this morning. I didn't come away from that thinking that, our guys did, Svatok and Bell, that's the reason we gave this up. It didn't feel that way to me.
It's a great ball, and it puts the defenders in a really poor situation to try to get this one out of here. Yeah. My only critique here is if you're John Bell knew that there were people behind him because if you're watching on the replay, that header goes out, it gets worked around, and as that's progressing and happening, he checks back over his shoulder twice. So he knows that there's two guys behind him. So if you don't try to do something with this ball, it's a goal. You know what I mean? So in that moment, can you make this decision where it's just if I let this go by me, we're cooked anyway, so I got to just, risk it for the biscuit here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I think he could be better, but again, I think I'm with you. It's much more so the quality of the ball from Zaha here. And the unfortunate nature that you're just fucking playing without your entire team.
Yeah, man. And like, fuck, man. The deflation in that moment, knowing that now we've immediately conceded. Yeah. And after we brought on John Bell to go back 5, right? Because now you got Rosales at least on defense over there as kind of a left wing back. But before the Apple broadcast can cut back to live play, somehow it's 1-1.
Yeah.
And you see Nico screaming at the ref and the fourth official, little bit of celebration. Then you see the replay. Ilie intercepted a pass, played a long ball in the direction of Mirtu running in between those Charlotte center backs. Yeah, good ball. Like, what you got to do at this point.
Exactly.
You got Mirtu down there, see what he can do. And the young CB, Morrison Ajimong, right, is wearing Morrison on his jersey, but you look on any box score, he shows up as Ajimong. He heads it back towards Kalina, but plays it at just a terrible angle, and it trickles in. And Mirtu Azuni wheeling away to the corner, like putting his hand up, was fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh, it was gold. It was absolute gold. Because we thought he scored.
Yeah, I was like, Mirtu, oh my God.
And then nobody knows what's going on here. You get this gift from the soccer gods here, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And like you talked about having that deflated feeling from giving up, conceding immediately to jumping to this high of, oh my God, we just got a giant present. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Look, man, love the passion from Nico, man. And I hope he mother effed those refs all night long.
Yeah.
And it looked like he did. And I really appreciate that about his mentality last night. And I think that kind of carried over to the guys. And I do think that this gift here gives everyone a little shot in the arm where it's just like, oh, hey, let's just bunker down here and make this thing as ugly as possible. See if we can walk out with a point. I want to jump back just a little bit to Charlotte. And like before this, before the Biru incident and everything, you have Zaha doing his little thing. They're frustrated. They're coming in with just that single point, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just felt like they were on just like the cusp of like falling apart a little bit here.
Yep.
They have a defensive lapse. Austin's able to score, and maybe they just roll over. We haven't seen what type of team they really are yet from these first 2 games. Obviously, they have a lot to prove here, but like with the level of frustration that Zaha was displaying, Dean Smith is displaying, it seemed like there was a little bit of just like, hey, this team could crack right now, and you could like find a way to score, and then you're off to the races in this matchup. So yeah, it just fucking unfortunate. He got robbed.
When it was, Nico continuing to go nuts, you can see the fourth official ratting someone out on the bench to Mendoza. Apparently, it was Nico Bosch who gets the yellow here, and then Nico rushes at Mendoza, screaming at him again, and then the fourth official after the yellow card is shown. And like, I'm with you, man. I love to see that. I wouldn't have blamed him for getting ejected himself. Last night.
Maybe go. I thought maybe just do it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that crew is an embarrassment, and it extends to the VAR room as well.
Homeboy lost control of this game so fast.
Yeah.
It unraveled for him so fast, and all these dudes lost respect for him. And it just was not good.
Yep. And then shit continues to crumble for Austin. 35th minute. Good guys win the ball back. Some great work defensively here by Rosales. And then the back heel to keep it inbounds and right on the money to Danny. So Danny turns and he takes off on the counter, and after like 3 or 4 strides, pulls up lame. He goes down. And then, dude, fucking Charlotte turns the other way, tries to keep playing. Mirtu and Faku screaming at these dudes. Yo, play it the fuck out.
Yeah.
And finally they do, and Mirtu comes in, immediately gets in I don't know if it was Ajimong's face or Reem's face, but Ilie comes in, tries to break it up, talk to Reem. I don't know, man. Like, Danny comes off for Duber.
Ugh.
Now you think that the red card is not going to be rescinded, as I think it should. So no Biru, Danny for weeks, maybe longer. And now Duber comes in for Danny. We've used 2 of our sub windows. We're a half hour into the fucking game.
Yeah, man. Absolute just disaster here.
To be honest, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
You're good. With Pep, man, that's so unfortunate. He's been playing so well to start the season. Comes up here with this hamstring again. and just fuck. Like the hits start coming here, man. And like going forward, not having Pep with the amount of people we have out, you might see some call-ups.
Yeah, fuck. We'll talk about that on Wednesday's preview, obviously, but I think there's or at least you're gonna pull some of those second team the first team supplementals back up from the second team.
Yeah.
Unless something changes here with guys' health status and red cards. But yeah. I will say, I think the own goal was a huge shift, momentum wise, and like the emotional shift that happened, because not just the Charlotte players, but that stadium thought once that first goal goes in, we just scored. We're up a man for an hour now. Like, this is going to be a breeze. And to have the immediate own goal go in, and that brought, I thought, a little bit more belief back into the Austin side to hold that 1-1 scoreline. And they did, because like we jump ahead to stoppage time. There was 8 minutes given in the first minute. Austin, again, really settling down on defense over the last 10 minutes. And Charlotte gets a corner here to start stoppage time. They play it short. And on the service that's whipped into the box, Ilya goes down. Dude, on the replay, pretty clearly gets hit up high. There's no call. And as that's happening, the ball finds Zaha at the top of the box. He gets fouled. Of course, that one's fucking called. So trainers come out. Ilya pops up. He's fucking furious. First yelling at Mendoza, then goes over to the linesman who did not call the foul and had a good view of it. Again, it was, dude, you could take the Biru red card out of it, and it was a terribly officiated game.
I mean, I think the most egregious and heinous call of the game hasn't even happened yet. I think it hasn't even happened yet. And like this is just deteriorating so fucking quickly, man. And if Ilya's that upset, dude, and like, he's not a very aggressive kind of guy like that. Like, something happened, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. 7th minute of stoppage here. Svatok, pretty slick long ball over the top to Mirtu Izuni here. Alexander hits this over literally everybody and right to Mirtu's foot. And it's Izuni's first touch, man. Like, goes long. Ajimong's able to outrun him to that loose ball. And then fucking Mirtu throws his hands up like it was anybody's fault but his own first touch that ball was turned over, man. And again, like, maybe he's just reacting with some frustration in that moment. But like, I was just sitting there like, dude, like, what? Svati put that on a platter for him.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest play to like bring that down, put it into your own path where nobody else can get it, and then go finish it. But he can do better, and like, or he should do better.
Should be doing
in that
better.
moment, because like, down a man, what else are we supposed to do besides this pass? Dude, Svatak had multiple efforts like that offensively, and again, like, and saves a goal later defensively too. Like, he played great once again. I think Svatak's off to a really great start to the season.
Svatak is off to a very, very good start. I'm glad you brought up some of the goal he saved as well, and some of the defensive stuff he did, because on the offensive side of the ball, a lot of these things that he was playing were fantastic. Mirtu here, man, it's just like, you get DPs to be game changers, and like, that's what their classification is. And if you're going to change a game, here's a moment to do it. And he's got to be better in the moment.
So one last action here in the first half was 9th minute of stoppage at this point, because of course we're adding every single second on for the Ilya no call. Charlotte wins a corner here. Play it short once again was a theme for them on their corner kicks last night. This one ends up with Abada kind of near the top of the box, and he's closed down, but he does find Zaha, who has a little bit of space, like 12 yards from goal on the left, and Zaha curls this one just over the top of the bar, and like, he probably should have done better there.
Yeah, no, he makes that in his sleep.
So coming out of the half, it's Charlotte coming out of the half on the attack. 47th minute, Leo Labata gets to the end line, puts one across the face of net that's cleared out to the top of the box, where Toffolo just stings a shot off the half volley towards net. And this is where Alexander Svatak saves a goal by nodding it up and over the bar. I do not think Stuver was getting to that one, and even if he did, I think there was enough power on the shot where it's probably still going in.
Yeah, there was some real pace on this, and saved a goal, man, and did it without getting Scott Sterling or BHI. Did it properly.
53rd minute, official gives a corner after The ball clearly goes off the back of Ashley Westwood for a goal kick. And then Rosendo Mendoza looks up at the video board and changes his decision to a foul. To a foul.
Yeah.
Like, no foul, but corner kick when it's clearly a fucking goal kick. And you don't change it to a goal kick. You decide after the fact by very clearly on the broadcast, looking your eyes up at the video board and then calling a foul. This dude is fucking terrible.
Bad.
And he should be demoted for this game. And I'll tell you why after we get through this fucking... there is precedent for this with another official that we're going to talk about who had a shit fucking game last week in a different matchup. Unfortunately for everyone involved not wearing blue, it gets worse because on that free kick, Pep Biel curls around the scrum. The ball's played on the ground to him alone above the spot, and he blasts it through the jumble of players there in the 6, and it makes its way into the net. Immediately, you see Stuver pop up and say, no, man. That is a handball. Ilie also calling for it, and on the replay, you see it. But once again, even though this goes in our favor, dude, fucking VAR has the still image of the ball hitting the arm to start.
Yeah.
What do we do? What are you going to be able to tell from that, dude? Well, you should not be starting the fucking review with the still image of what we're looking. You got to see the play through. And of course, we see multiple angles and replays of this one.
Yeah.
Couldn't see that Biru from the start, though. That Biru foul. And then Azuni gets booked before the restart. And I imagine he's telling Mendoza the same fucking thing. That you're a hack, man. You suck.
Yeah, you suck. God, this was the worst call for me. This was because he fucking signals.
Look up at the video board.
Looks up there, notices and sees that it's actually off of Charlotte.
Yes.
And then goes, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to give you a fucking free kick here. We can't even set up a wall because we're down a man. And you got to get dudes in the fucking box. This was the worst call. I don't know if I've ever seen a ref do that progression of things where it's just like, usually you don't look up at the replay board. Because like that's not where you're supposed to be getting your fucking information from.
Correct.
Also, it's super far away. So like it's kind of ridiculous.
Change the call?
To change the call to a foul after. Also, what the fuck? I mean, I kind of understood in the moment where it was just like it might have been an angle where he's blocked from seeing the ball clearly go off of Westwood. But what's up with the line judge? Where are you at?
Yeah. And then goal kick, not foul.
A goal kick, clearly. I cannot believe he looked up at the replay board, changed the call, gave them a foul, and then, I thought they scored, obviously.
Yeah.
We're seeing Stuver being super confident in the fact that he thought it was a handball, and that gave me some confidence as well. It was like, okay, yeah, he's right here, but still, God, if they had scored off that dude, holy shit.
59th minutes, Joseph Rosales, dude, yoinking it away from Riel Abada.
Carries
it. Yeah, and then carries it himself for like 40, 50 yards, splits 2 Charlotte defenders, draws a third before hitting Facu Torres centrally. And Facu swings it to Galley out on the right. His cross is blocked out for a corner, and there was nothing doing on the corner. But going back to the defensive play itself, I know, according to Coach, Joseph Rosales has never played left back before. We watched him play left back last night. He's pretty fucking good. I know we're still in a situation where like we're shorthanded, and I'm still riding with them. If they decide that Joseph Rosales up there on the right wing is the best way to get our best 11 players on the field until we can get to some semblance of healthy, which is clearly going to be even longer than we hoped at this point.
Yep.
Like, then I'm with it. But look, man, we don't have to play these games. Joseph Rosales is very good on defense there on the left side, and he proved it last night. So, like, I'm very hopeful that at some point we get healthy enough where the confidence is there to put Rosales at the left back spot or a left wing back, whatever you want to call it, Coach. Like, he looked good to me.
Yep, he's looked good all season long, man. He's been great. That was such a great defensive play. And then the carry here. Yeah. Here you go. You get a corner. You generate a little something here. Like, great. Love that. And that's the thing and like can't control the referee and can't control how terrible that dude was. But the response from this team was fantastic. Was great. Yeah. They fought. They really fought.
62nd minute, Charlotte gets a deep throw in off a Svatak tackle. And on that throw, Toklamati and Svatak wrestling. Svatak ends up getting tripped up from behind after Toklamati goes down. And he is livid.
Yeah.
Like, just from his facial expressions, we've seen some spot. I mean, the Eye of Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
This is the angriest I've ever seen him visibly yelling at Mendoza. And so, like, dude, if Svatak is that angry, I'm going to believe him that he got fucking stepped on from behind. And if he got stepped on from behind, that's an ejection, isn't it?
Go look at it.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. And also, Toklamati going down? No way. What?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Toklamati going down in the box?
Fourth or fifth time he's hit the fucking pitch already?
Can we get one?
Simulation at some point.
Can we get one?
Son, right off the rip last night for LAFC, gets a card for simulation. But Toklamati can fucking flop around like a fish for 90 fucking minutes.
He went down three times in the box, right?
Yeah, at least. At least.
God.
Well, as play restarts, Charlotte's in possession here, and Zaha ends up with it and makes something out of almost nothing, picking up a loose ball at the top of the box and kind of worming his way through two defenders and sends another shot wide that should have absolutely been a goal. Because when he gets that last touch onto his right foot, I think we all just went, ugh.
Yep. He's too close. He's too good. I can't believe he missed it.
Yep. 64th minute. It was after that miss. It was Stuver booting it long. And, dude, on the second ball off that goal kick, Leo Labata not only elbows Nico Dubersarski in the face and is shown a yellow card, he checks his shoulder and looks at Duber before he jumps.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane that is not a red card, given how they ejected Biru in the first half hour.
Yep.
That was way more targeted, way more aggressive, way more reckless. There was intent there.
Yeah.
And up high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they forced Duber to come off to get concussion checked. Are you fucking kidding me?
Insane.
And look, at that point, guess what? It's 1-1. Come on, cowards. Get him. Let's play tens.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will win this fucking game.
Agreed. And we were, as much as we talked about not wanting to get Zaha thrown out, I was hoping to bait him into some shit and get him his second yellow and let's play tens and let's see what it looks like, because I would have felt great about that. And the part that changes all of this is he checks his shoulder and sees where he is and hits him high. Come on, dude. Like, what are we talking about? No review on this. They didn't even look at it, right?
VAR. No.
Fuck you.
68th minute, Charlotte, of course, continuing to probe in the Austin final third, still up a man. And right here, it's Abada bringing down a cross with pretty deft touch, redirects it towards the scrum. The ball finds Pep Biel, who taps it home. And look, man, this is a good goal.
Yep.
But it's assisted by the man who should have been sent off 4 minutes prior.
Yep.
The officials dictated the outcome of this game in multiple moments for over an hour.
Yes.
Again, these guys need to be sent down, and it can happen because it has before.
I'm interested to hear this.
69th minute. Oh, look. Liel Abada comes off Kerwin Vargas because he picked up a yellow, and the officials are watching him. They pulled him off because they know how close he was to being ejected. Also, De La Torre in for Bronico, and then 75th minute, you get a triple sub for Austin, of course. Their final sub window as they bring on Sabovic, Fodre, and Ramirez for Ilie, Rosales, and Azuni. Skipping ahead to the 81st minute. CJ wins a free kick here near midfield. Austin restarts play, and it's another Svatak diagonal over the top, right to left this time, and it's in the direction of CJ. He's got Nathan Byrne tracking him down that left side, and it sure looks like Nathan Byrne commits a handball in the box here to prevent this ball from having a chance to get to CJ's boot. Mm-hmm. Now, CJ, no guarantee he's coming down with this. But that's not the rule.
Nope.
To me, this is a denial not of a direct goal-scoring opportunity, but a chance for our guys to get shorthanded on this ball in the box in a potentially advantageous situation. So naturally, we get the worst possible angle and a single replay from the broadcast on this one. You know you've got multiple angles, and I know that they said that VAR did check this one. But why can we not see the other angles? This was not close to the most egregious call or no call that happened last night, but it's another one to throw on the fucking pile of the shit stain that this officiating crew and the VAR room put on this match. This is a stain on MLS this year. And I know we are not alone in our match, given what has gone on throughout the league the last 2 weeks, but god damn it, dude. It is enraging to let down not just the Austin team that worked all week to come in there and was executing just fine. But all the fans that look forward to these 2 hours throughout the entire week, and you take away this experience from them with the incompetence of your officiating crew. You cannot stand for this if you are a serious league. You have to discipline these guys.
It's bad for the league. It's fucking bad for the league, man. And, I'm interested to hear what this story is about, some demotions and all of that stuff. But, and then on the broadcast, someone brings up like CJ pushing him kind of. And that was like
Kerr said, pushed him into the handball, which okay, but then call the foul.
Yeah.
And also it's a handball still.
Yeah.
We've had handballs for way less innocuous things turn into penalty kicks.
Yeah.
Take goals off the board in Real Salt Lake 2 years ago and turn into a penalty kick for a guy who wasn't even looking at the ball and it touched his hand.
And this is the last thing that anybody really wants to talk about after watching these games is the fucking refs, man.
Yep.
I don't want to be on here just bitching about refs for however long this episode is going to go. But when it's this bad, come on, dude. And nobody here is saying, I guarantee Austin would have won this game if we played 90 minutes full strength, both sides. I'm not saying that. We didn't score the goal when we had our full team out there, but we still looked good. And that opportunity for 3 points was just taken away from the team. And I like how you framed that, where it's just like, yeah, dude, you took it away from a bunch of people who this is a highlight of people's weeks. You're looking forward to it all week long. And then 23 minutes into the game, you're done. And after that second goal, we didn't really get to talk about it a lot, but that was really when it was just like, okay, we're done here. Like this game, you're not going to get a point. But I still think we've played hard. You generate some corner kicks here late in this game.
Yes.
You still have some stuff going forward. Maybe you could have got lucky.
So in the first minute of the 7 stoppage minutes given in the second half here, Pep Biel plays pretty sweet through ball for Toko Mari here, and Brad comes up with a strong save. And dude, Stuver had multiple good stops in the final 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yep, he did, and he was facing a lot.
The third minute of stoppage off the Charlotte corner. They play it short again, have a 4-on-3 for a moment in that right corner that allows Luca De La Torre to make a pretty slick move into the box before laying it off for Pep Biel, who has plenty of space to pick out really either corner of Stuver's goal here. And he slots it home to put the game away at 3-1. And, then they were trying to pour it on in the final few minutes of stoppage time. Shout out to the crossbar for preventing that final kick of the game from going in. So 3-1 final, shorthanded.
Bummer. And just, I was so excited to see this team on the road, what it was going to look like in a game that I definitely thought 3 points was available to you, and to not ever be able to know how this would have played out if Mendoza wasn't around just sucks. And it was a bad look for the league. I don't know how many neutral fans were tuned into this. I don't know how many neutral fans give a shit about this game, but this was a bad outing for the league as a whole.
28% possession for Austin at the end of this one. That is the second lowest possession number in club history and the lowest possession number in an Austin FC loss. The only possession number lower, 24% at home in the win over San Diego last April. 25 shots to 5 in favor of Charlotte, 11 on target to 0 in favor of Charlotte, and 12 corners to 3, of course, for the home team. No big chances created by Austin FC. And on FOTMob's model, 0.1 XG for Austin, 2.91 for Charlotte. No expected goals on target with no shots on target for Austin, and 3.54 expected goals on target for the home team. We go into the game score in the Discord, right? This is our Patreon game score, our new kind of post-game activity we're doing in that Patreon Discord. It is an average of the numeric reactions between when we tag the channel post-game and when we record this recap episode for each match. It's from 1, the worst, to 5, the best. How do our members feel about today's match? So tracking these as the season progresses, yesterday's game score, 2.19. So in relation to that DC win, which was a 3.27, our second game score here, 2.19 at Charlotte.
Yeah, the frustration levels for sure. I think I voted 3. I don't know what you can do when you go down a man 23 minutes, 25 minutes into the game or whatever when he got thrown out. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I thought that they did. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I thought that they fucking did. They played hard. They saw it out. You had a little life there for a little while. Just a shame, man. It sucked.
I mean, to have the field tilt be 89-11 and still be in that match as late as they were. Because again, like you said, down 2-1, it's very, very dire at that point, down a man. But multiple I think 2 of those 3 corners came in the final 10, 15 minutes there. Like, the guys did not give up.
Yeah.
And the effort they showed, I thought, was fantastic.
Agreed.
Some of the comments from Coach in the post game, like, of course, he's asked about the officiating and the red card and stuff. And he said it was clear and obvious that the player, right, talking about Beeru, it's not his intent to hurt the opponent. The contact was very minimal. You can see the ball. He goes in the direction of the ball, and Toklomati loses his balance and extends his leg in order to not fall to the ground. And the unlucky thing that Beeru, trying to reach the ball, he instead reached Toklomati's leg, but without excessive force. No. And then I would shout out Phil West, right, in his role as the Austin Pool reporter, did get his questions into PRO about the calls, and the PRO explanation per Phil West on the Beeru red card: Guilherme Beeru was sent off for serious foul play. Beeru made contact with force using his studs to the back of an opponent's Achilles. And if you are saying that Beeru used force with his studs, I'm wondering how you can tell that if you did not show the head official the actual fucking foul.
Yeah.
We know he did not see the lead up on the replay before he made the call.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you guys talking about? And then Phil followed up with another explanation from PRO on the non-ejection for Liel Abada. Quote, he received a yellow card for a reckless challenge. Both the call on the field and the VAR check deemed the action did not rise to the level of serious foul play, as he made contact with his forearm while tucking his arm in.
What?
Bull fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Fuck you.
Miss me with that, dude. That's a whole lot of bullshit right there. Come on, man. There's no way Beeru could time this to hit this dude with serious intent and force and know when he's falling down and strike him in that spot. Like, come on, dude.
Look, man.
He sure seemed to be okay. Toklomati, that is.
Look, MLS to start this season has an officiating problem.
Yeah.
I think. And again, like, of course, it takes that happening to us for us to feel this way where we bring it up on the show. But I know PRO not being up to the standard of what fans think this league should have with their officiating is nothing new, right? But there is now 10 red cards shown in the last 2 match days. And we still have 2 games to play this weekend.
Yeah.
And that's 10 reds in 27 matches because Houston, New England was postponed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's too much.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that across professional leagues throughout this country, no matter the sport, there can, and even at the collegiate level, right? There are points of emphasis from the officials, whether that's in conjunction with the league, what have you, of like things they're trying to focus on to either maybe get out of the game or to legislate a different way according to rule changes, what have you. Like the NBA example from this past year was a much higher rate of fouls being called overall through the first 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season. You know, you think back to NFL, I don't remember if this was this past season or the season before, where they were really the first couple weeks calling dudes on the line offsides if they were just an inch into that neutral zone, right? At a much higher rate than they do at any other point, including the same seasons, because those type of things fall off as the season gets into a rhythm. So I'm hoping that that will happen here. But I mentioned that Houston, New England game being postponed. Speaking of the Orange team, they were jobbed last week in a very similar fashion with that step on the Achilles of Heung-min Son. Direct red card. And the angle that the official there, John Freeman, had to make that call was directly in front of Son. And when you see the replay from that angle, Son sells the shit out of that. Mm-hmm. And I thought when we watched that on 360 2 weeks ago, I thought it was a second yellow giving him a red card. And just like with Biru last night, I agree that foul was a yellow. But direct red? No, especially when you see Son on the replay. Just like when you see the replay, you can tell there's no intent from Guilherme Biru. So I have this pulled up on the screen. For the audio-only listeners, you can check it out on the YouTube. This is a screenshot taken by a Houston fan of John Freeman's Instagram from this week, where John Freeman said, "One bad chapter doesn't mean your story is over. Keep going." And then puts the date from which match he is officiating. The picture on the Instagram is him giving the red card for that foul. Not only did he post this, which all the Houston fans posted this, pointing to it like, what the fuck? At least I don't think this red card was rescinded, but if the official who made the fucking call is saying this on his public Instagram, maybe it fucking should be. Look what John Freeman does in the comments. Here's a comment from somebody. "About as bad refereeing as I have ever seen. Clap emoji, congrats." John Freeman likes the comment and responds, "LOL." You think somebody got to him, E? Here's what this post looks like this morning. We zoom in. Oh, edited. Took the comment off from the post. If you go Google John Freeman demotion, the first video that pops up is a Instagram video from U.S. youth soccer referees with the title, "John Freeman, once a referee, demoted from PRO, and now a FIFA official." So it can be done.
Oh, my God.
Look, man, I don't use AI hardly at all. But when I do, it's for North End content. So here's how I feel today, E. Look what they made me do. This is PRO's fault and MLS's fault.
Yeah, you don't know
I stand with Houston.
Yeah, you don't know what you've done now, PRO. We're fucking uniting the clans now. Holy shit. Who's that? Just, oh my God. Oh, I was laughing so hard at that post, dude. Who's that for?
Yeah, dude.
Who are you posting that? Who likes that? Who's like that?
Is there Rosendo Mendoza fucking public Instagram?
I love how it was just, just because you fuck up and make a bad call doesn't mean your life is over. Yeah, dude, we know. You fucked up. Why are you posting this shit, man? That is insane behavior. Insane behavior.
I fucking hate these guys, dude. Only because they the officials everywhere are not held accountable the way they should be.
Yeah.
You should, and clear again, you can demote an official.
Yeah.
There at least need the Mendoza crew and the VAR techs from last night need to be suspended at least for a week, if not longer. You cannot just keep going out and doing your thing there. Because guess what? Biru doesn't get to come back.
Yeah.
The Houston player doesn't get to come back.
Yep.
And you stole the opportunity for a result from Austin FC last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not right, man. The only thing you can do at this point is discipline the officiating crew and rescind the red card. And those two things should be done. I don't think that should be a controversial statement.
Yeah. I mean, what'd you say? 10 of the 26 matches or whatever red cards in?
10 of the last 27 over the last 2 weeks. And again, we've got 2 left today.
And I mean, that right there is dictating the outcome of the game mostly.
Yes.
You are controlling how that game ends up. Because that's it's just I'm just frustrated about the way that went down last night, and then all the injuries that got stacked on top of that. Now, man, being shorthanded is just fuck.
Well, I kind of want to take all that aside.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you already kind of expressed this sentiment. I'm very proud of the coaching staff and the players for the way that they handled themselves through all of that bullshit and especially after the red card that should not have been shown.
Yeah.
Because you could, and again, I think it probably, like I said to you late last night, I think the own goal helps us out more than a little bit in the mental side of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the immediate concession after we sub John Bell on with the hour plus looming ahead, that could have gone really bad.
Yeah.
So like you said, when we got to it in the recap, a gift from the soccer gods. But I think everybody involved wearing green last night used that as fuel to go forward for the next 40 plus minutes before they ultimately concede that second goal. And I have nothing bad to say about the group. Of course, little individual plays here or there we critiqued during the recap, but I felt proud of those guys and the effort they gave given the circumstances.
Absolutely. I do as well. And I just hope we can see this team healthy, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, like mid-April now.
I think it's gonna, because it's just so enticing for me to see what it's gonna look like. I think it's gonna look really good. So, you got to put this one behind you now. And we were talking about the RSL matchup, and obviously we'll get in that into this upcoming week here. But you got to put this one behind you, man, and hopefully you can get that red card rescinded. I doubt it, but this was just a tough way to prepare all week and to have it end like this. Come on.
Yeah, and so you hope that, just taking stock of the injuries, right? You hope that Mikael Dedler, that he is able to turn back into Mikael Dessler with an appearance off the bench at Salt Lake next week. Yeah. You hope Robert Taylor is able to sneak his way onto the bench next week, or if not next week, against LAFC at home, because you look at the upcoming schedule. Again, we will talk about RSL in full. They are certainly beating my expectations given who is available to them at this point of the season. I think they also played maybe the worst team in the league last night in Atlanta. Like, fucking shit, dude. We're looking at the predictions. The one I am willing to already admit defeat on is having Atlanta in a playoff position, much less I think 5th in the East where we ended up with them. They suck. But RSL, LAFC at home.
Yeah.
International break, Miami on the road.
Yeah.
Galaxy at home.
Yeah.
Toronto road, San Jose road. It's hard to play on the road no matter who you're playing. Then you get the Houston match at the end of April. It is not an easy schedule coming up, especially with these games where we think now you're probably... Dude, I would be shocked if Danny Pereira is playing before the Galaxy match on April 11th.
I would be shocked if he was playing. And
just the way he went right down with the hamstring.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, might have to pull the lever here in this RSL matchup. Tell you what, given who you're going to be playing in that game, because what's after that, man,
I don't know if we can lever pull just because of I have to see who's available for us first.
Yeah, for sure.
If you let Biru, how bad is Nelson?
Yep. I don't expect him.
Is that a minor thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. He walked off under his own power, right? My hope is that he's able to go 65-ish minutes next week.
Just had some tightness. Yeah.
It's just a question mark till we get to Thursday when we hear from Nico again, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll get into it,
we'll take stock on wins. Yeah.
But
we'll circle back.
That is a daunting looking schedule after this RSL game in terms of the opponents, man. So it's going to be a fight. We'll see what this team's about.
Well, and the one thing, speaking of that RSL match, the one thing we will touch on here on Sunday's episode is that is an away match, which means there is another away game watch party hosted by Los Verdes coming up on Saturday, March 14th. Now we go to the Mountain Time zone here, so our Central Time kickoff, 8:30 p.m. Watch party will start at 7:30. This next week we will be at the Brutorium Brewery and Kitchen, 6015 Dillard Circle. Here in Austin, 78752. Brutorium, all ages, on-site parking. They've got a food kitchen on-site, so you can go check out the Brutorium food menu on their website. Either will be a Los Verdes beer launch called the South Ender, which, I mean, you guys, you know what the next collab is, right? Fuck. And Los Verdes and Brutorium koozies. will be for sale. So, of course, that's next Saturday. We'll talk about it again on Wednesday's preview episode, but wanted to get that on everyone's radar because those watch parties are a blast, man.
Yeah, dude. It's good that they have a food kitchen. That's good.
Yeah.
It's not your bathroom kitchen. It's your food kitchen. All right. That's where you cook the food.
Oh, God. Anything else for you on this game?
No.
Come on down to Verde Field where the champions play. Get ready for the game. It's last business day.
Last business day here on episode 289 of the North End podcast, and E with the new schedule for the second team, all of those home matches at 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. Some of these recap episodes will have just the first team, and then we'll recap and preview on the midweek episode for the second team. So we are actually recording maybe the earliest we ever have on a Sunday today because, look, it is well known to the North End faithful that E is not somebody who gets up and at 'em on a Sunday all too early. So when is the day that E and his buddies are going to plan a long bike ride to go out all afternoon and make me get up and start my rewatch at fucking 8 a.m. on a Sunday? Oh, yeah. Daylight savings when we lose a fucking hour. Thanks, dude. So we'll
Good thing it wasn't an emotional night or anything.
So we'll recap the match against Ventura County FC on Wednesday's episode, but just the one piece of news. I told you I did not. I backed off on this team being done because we're just signing guys the rest of the season. Austin FC 2 has signed midfielder Keenan Hott to a 2-year guaranteed deal through 2027 with an option for 2028. So another one of those 2+1 deals for a new addition here. Apparently Keenan E goes by Kenny. So we're adding Kenny Hott to the midfield here. And dude, Kenny, 21-year-old central midfielder, originally from Linfield, New Jersey, as you can see on the graphic right there, played his collegiate soccer for the Blue Devils at Duke University, led the team in contributions as a senior with 8 goals and 4 assists, first team all ACC, helped the Blue Devils reach the 3rd round of the tournament. He was selected by Miami, I believe the last pick of the 2nd round this past December. And dude, spent time with Miami in the preseason. I want to say our buddy Logan Okwad told me that Kenny Hott was a sub off the bench for all 3 of Miami's South America preseason friendlies this year.
Oh, okay.
So obviously didn't catch on with the Miami club there, but Roto scooping up the scraps, so to speak, there. And I'm very interested to see what Kenny Hott can bring to the team here, man. I mean, First team all name right off the bat.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that. So,
all right, man. Anything else for you here before we shut it down? I think I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I'm going to go watch some basketball today. I'll watch these other MLS games and start looking ahead to RSL, man, because, dude, right after that 3rd goal went in stoppage, I was on to RSL. Because like I said, I'm not mad at the team. I'm frustrated at the situation. And look, you get another chance. Even more shorthanded, but to go up there and play a Salt Lake team that, dude, I think is playing above their level right now. And we're going to see it for ourselves next Saturday, but we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Anything else for you before we shut it down?
No, sir. Well said.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in, sticking with us here in episode 289 of the North End podcast. We will be back on Wednesday, back to our regular schedule, previewing Austin FC's road trip to take on Real Salt Lake, recapping the second team's match that takes place tonight, and previewing their next match as well. And, of course, talking about everything else that happens in the Austin FC universe between now and then, including some nonsense. We'll see those best ball scores, E. So enjoy the beginning of your week, everybody, and we will do the same. We'll see you back here on Wednesday for another episode. Until then, he's E, and I'm Zach. Vamos Austin FC, everybody. Goodbye.